to get with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I will be joined here in a little bit by my brother Tim. He heard there was 14 hockey games. He was like, "Hell no, I'm going to be a little late." So it's just me for the beginning of the show. But we will be getting into the hockey card, big hockey card here today. 14 games, so there'll be plenty to go over there. We got a ton of action in college basketball as well. I'll be straight up. With all the college basketball and all the NHL, NBA never hit my radar today, so I'm not going to be looking at the NBA. It's just going to be those. Quick little recap over yesterday's card. What went right and what went wrong in the world of sports betting. And finished down, but only down 0.26 units, so less, about a quarter unit down. And it's mainly because of basketball. Not mainly because of basketball. It's only because of basketball that it wasn't an absolute horrible day. Iona minus 7.5. They win by 19. They take care of business. The only play in college basketball from yesterday comes through. The free pick video there comes through. That was nice to see. I had 3 doggies in the NBA last night. 2 of them won outright. So that was nice to see. Indiana plus 4.5. Indiana plus 160. Winner. Toronto plus 8, Toronto 265, loser. Cleveland plus 6, Cleveland plus 185, winner. So 4 and 2 up 1.41 units in the NBA. And the NHL, I still can't win a bet. I haven't won one since Tuesday because fun times. But I had the under 6 in the Vegas Golden Knights New York Rangers. I was debating between the Golden Knights money line or the under, and I went with the under, and the Knights win 5-2. So that's the way hockey's going right now. And then I had the Kings, where before you can blink, it was 3-0 Avalanche, which was incredibly frustrating there. But it is what it is. Overall, yesterday, went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4, down 0.26 units. So we move on to today. We'll head over to the chat, and then we will get into some hockey. Bruins smash. We'll see. I really wanted to back the Bruins today, and we'll get into that here in just a second. That's the early game. Sabres smash. Totally. Let's get into it here. We're going to kick it on off with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Boston Bruins. The Bruins, $1.65 road favorites. Total of 6 in this game. And let's take a look here at the line history in this one. Here, where let me switch over from basketball to hockey on here, and then let's get over to Bet Online line history. This line opened up at minus 145 for Boston. It's a 155 for Boston. So we've had a line movement towards the over in this one here. Line opened up at a 6 at plus 105. It's down to a 6 at even money. So we've had a move towards the over. We've had a move towards the Bruins in this one here. Let's take a look here at the cash flow in this one. We have 90% of the tickets and 80% of the cash is on the Bruins. 3,100 tickets in. So an okay sample size. 33% of the tickets and 62% of the cash is on the over in this game. And looking at my projection for this game, I keep bouncing back and forth between tabs, which is eventually going to drive me crazy. But I have this game projected with the Bruins around a minus, around a minus 175 favorite. So I do think there is slight bit of value here. And I would love to fade the Flyers here going forward, especially when Samuel Larson is going to be thrown into this everyday starting role for the Flyers. I mean, I like Urson as a backup. I would prefer to fade him as a full-time starter. And we're getting a decent number here to fade him. It's a 163 and a 150 on the money line. If I can find, there's the run. Here's the -1 calculator. 163 and 150. I can get -105 for the Boston puck line, or Boston -1 in this game here. Let's see if I can get a little bit better on this other book real quick. Maybe I can get Boston -1 and a little bit better of a number here. Let's see. It's 155 and 160. I actually might. 155 and 160. Yes, I can get a better line on that book. We're going to move on that where it's +102. Yeah. +102, Boston -1. I'm going to move on in that book. So we're going to do that. Boston -1, +102. Let's put these in there, right? I'm just making sure that's the right number we have to put in there. Yep. To get that down, I'm just locking in my bet. So just give me 2 seconds here. Boston -1, +102 against the Philadelphia Flyers. I think that's a great price to be able to fade Harrison in this game. So first, actually not first hockey official play because I gave out the what do you call it earlier? Last night the Sharks money line, but we are on Boston -1 to kick on off today's card. Providence smashes. Yes, we are on the Providence Friars -11.5. Let's move on to the second game here, the 2:00 game where we have the Washington Capitals and the Dallas Stars. We have the Stars. I'm seeing -240 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this game. On BetOnline's a little different. Line opened up at a 230. It's down to a 228. So we've had a slight move towards Washington. Line opened up at a 6 at -121. It's a 6 at +102. Dallas Stars have been a really good over team at home this year is one thing we've noticed. 87% of the tickets, 92% of the cash is on the over in this one here. 72% of the tickets and 98% of the cash is on the Stars, and the lines move slightly towards the Flyers with 85% of the tickets on the puck line as well. And I wanted to back the Capitals in this game. I wanted a way to back the Capitals in this spot here. But when you look at this matchup here, one thing that's kind of tricky is for both these teams, it's the last game before the All-Star break. The Capitals next play against the Canadiens on February 6th, and the Dallas Stars after the next game is on February 6th as well in Buffalo. So both these teams are going to not be playing for a little bit after this. This is the last game of a 4-game road trip where Washington's lost the first 3. So maybe this is a game where they try to step up and win one before the All-Star break. So you're not going into the All-Star break on a 4-game losing streak. So maybe this is a game that Washington steps up and potentially wins in this spot here. I mean, I see value on Washington. I see no value in -240 on the Stars. So it would be Capitals or nothing here for me. I'm very interested in the Capitals. I'm very interested in the Capitals at +200. I think there's value on them at this number. And I'm staring at the Caps here at +200. I think I'm going to move on it. I'm going to move on it here. Give me the Capitals. +200 here as a big dog. We got that nice early slot. We know that the Stars are untrustworthy as big favorites. So we'll move on it here. Capitals +200 in this spot. Look to end the road trip on a win. So we'll rock with a little +200 action here with Washington. Happy Saturday. Good luck. What's good, Joseph Thompson? Appreciate you stopping by. We'll keep on moving on here. The Buffalo Sabres are at the San Jose Sharks. So now all of a sudden I have plays on the first 3 games of the day because I do have a play on this one as well. Let's take a look at the line history here. in this spot. This line opened up with Buffalo as a 196 favorite. It's down to a 190. So we've had a line move towards these San Jose Sharks. We have a line open up at 6 at minus 125. It's now a 6 at minus 120. So we have a move towards the under, and we have a move towards the Sharks. 49% of the tickets are on the Sharks, no cash flow. 75% of the tickets, 55% of the cash is on the Sabres puck line. Only 1,900 tickets in, but the line moving in that direction. 71% of the tickets are on the over, no cash flow there. Really not much to go off of market-wise of this game. And for me, this is, I think, a good situational spot for San Jose. I think, number one, this line is entirely too wide on the Buffalo Sabres. Just line-wise, I get it. It's the Sharks, but I see no reason why the Buffalo Sabres should be laying minus 200 on the road. This is also a short-term revenge. These two teams just played 12 days ago in Buffalo. Buffalo shut them out 3-0. And since then, the Sharks lost in a shootout against Chicago, a game where they outplayed the Blackhawks in that game. I was lucky to get away with that Blackhawks money line. They go and beat the Ducks, they beat the Kings, and they beat the Rangers. Now all of a sudden we have the red-hot Sharks, where both these teams, this is the last game before the All-Star break for both these teams. Buffalo on the last game of a road trip, but they won their last game against the Kings. And it was only a 3-game road trip. They lost the first one in Anaheim. They won the second one on the back-to-back in LA, and now they head to San Jose. I think this is a semi-similar spot to when the Rangers came in as big road chalk, and the San Jose Sharks upset them on the last game of their road trip. And we have a Buffalo team probably just looking to get into the All-Star break. San Jose, they're finally winning a couple hockey games. Maybe they want to go in on a 4-game win streak. I think they're very live to potentially do that today. I'm on the San Jose Sharks at plus 160. I took a shot here with San Jose, so rocking with those baby Sharks. Plus 160 for me. No chat, so we'll keep on moving here. And I forgot to type in the line here for these Oilers. Minus 210 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have, there we go. Line open up at a 201. It is now a 217 for the Edmonton Oilers. So we've had a 16-cent line movement towards the Oilers. Line open up at a 6.5 at minus 125. It's down to a 6.5 at minus 101 for the over. So a big move towards the under here in this game as well. 79% of the tickets, 88% of the cash is on the under, and the line's moved in that direction. Then we have 10% of the tickets and 52% of the cash is on the Preds. You know, the line's moved towards the Oilers, 90% of the tickets and 48% of the cash on Edmonton there. 71% of the tickets, but only 28% of the cash is on the puck line for Edmonton. So it looks like the big bets coming in on plus 1.5 for these Nashville Predators to potentially keep it close against the Edmonton Oilers, who have won 14 consecutive hockey games. And they've actually gone under in 9 of their last 10 games. This is weird. For the Edmonton Oilers, they're winning this by defense. 0-1, 1-2-2, 1-2, 1-1-2 in the last 10 games given up. This is all of a sudden a good defensive hockey team in the Edmonton Oilers. And we've seen a big line move toward the under, and I understand why we've seen a big line movement towards the under. I have this game projected for 6.27 goals, so I think that I lean slightly towards the under here in this game. I 100% understand why the line is the way it is, and I have the Oilers as minus 220. So I really don't see too much of value in this game. I would lean Oilers. I would lean under another low-scoring game that they hang on and win heading into the All-Star break, potentially on a 15-game winning streak. It would be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last 10. Yeah, a 15-game winning streak potential. Or are they on a 15-game winning streak? It'd be 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They've won 15 in a row, looking for 16. The last game they lost was on December 19th on Long Island against the Islanders. So I just wanted to throw that one in there. But no play for me here. Oilers and Preds. I think there's better games on the card. We'll keep on moving on here. We got some big favorites today in the NHL, and this is one of them here with the Carolina Hurricanes minus 250 favorites here against the Arizona Coyotes. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here where we have the Carolina Hurricanes opening up at 240. It's a 243 now. So we've had a couple cent line movement towards Carolina in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 125. It's now a 6 at minus 118. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game where we have 84% of the tickets is on Carolina. The lines move slightly towards them. 80% of the tickets, 91% of the cash is on Carolina. Lines also move towards them. And minus 250, obviously, I'm not going to tell you there's any value on Carolina because there's not. Especially with Ronta and net. Ronta looked really good last game. I'm curious to see if we'll see that a second game in a row. I have this game projected for 6 goals, so I think this total is right. I can only look Arizona in this game at this big plus price tag, and I kind of want to take a shot here. With Arizona in this spot. Carolina, this is let me take a look at what type of situation we're running into here with Carolina. Where is this the last game? Yeah, this is the last game before they go to the All-Star break. And Arizona, I think this could be as well. Yeah, both these teams going into the All-Star break after this game as well. Last time these two teams were in Carolina, Arizona won 4-0 as about $3 underdogs. But previous to that, I mean, the Arizona Coyotes have had no success against Carolina. This is a bad scheduling spot for Arizona as well. This is the last game of their. This is similar to what was it? This is similar to the Sabres situation, except on the East Coast. It's a West Coast team instead of going through the California trip like the Buffalo Sabres did. They're going through the Florida-Carolina trip. They lost 6-2 in Florida, 6-3 in Tampa Bay. Maybe we get a decent effort here from the Arizona Coyotes after 2 embarrassing losses. Maybe you look Arizona first period. Could be an interesting look in this game. I can only look Coyotes in this game. Whether or not I get to it, I'm actually going to put a question mark next to it here because I am definitely interested in taking a shot here. With Arizona, especially after 2 embarrassing losses. They don't want to go into the All-Star break with 3 embarrassing losses. It's probably going to be Connor Ingram in net, and you give me a plus 210 underdog with a goaltending advantage. I'm probably going to take a shot with them here in this game, and I'm very, very tempted to do so. So let me see. It's plus, 2? Where's Carolina here? Plus 210. For the Arizona Coyotes. I think that's very worth a shot here in this game, and we're gonna do it. Screw it, we're gonna do it. Arizona plus 210 in this game. I'm taking a shot here. So plus 210, Arizona Coyotes. Give me the money line. That's Cash Twins. What's good, money line Mills? Stats Pod, Oklahoma minus 3.5 for Justin there. Good luck with that. We'll move on here. I think we can see some live dogs when it comes to these games because maybe teams are looking to go into the All-Star break and we could see some wacky things go on today. And this is another game where this one's kind of interesting. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're back at home, but they're minus 230 favorites. Usually a spot where you don't want the Pens. Are a big home chalk. Minus 225 is where they opened up. It's now minus 224. Line opened up at a 6 at even money. It's now a 6.5 at minus 1.2. My bad. Open up at 6.5 at even money. Now it's 6.5 at minus 102. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we have 75% of the tickets are on the Pittsburgh Penguins money line. 71% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the puck line here for the Canadiens. So people thinking this game can stay close potentially here with the very limited sample size of 1,000 tickets in. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt here in this spot. Taking a look at the projections here, I have Yari in net here against Montembeau. I have this game projected for actually the Penguins to be minus 220 favorites. So I think this line's correct. Maybe they shouldn't be as big of favorites on a back-to-back as well. They went to a shootout last night. Granted, they were at home, so they got to stay at home. But they went to a shootout against the Panthers last night, which is always not a advantageous situation. Not only playing on a back-to-back, but having to play extra hockey last night on a back-to-back. And one thing we've noticed here in these matchups, last time on December 13th, Montreal got a point out of the game, but the Penguins won it 4-3 in a shootout. But previous to that, the Montreal Canadiens had won 3 matchups in a row between these two teams. And they have covered the plus 1.5 puck line in 7 of the last 9 meetings. The only times they didn't were 5-2 losses and 6-0 losses in 2021. But this is an interesting game. I mean, I can only look Montreal at this number. So this would end up being a pass for me. If you want a big money shot, the draw in this game I think is worth a look. The Penguins go to overtime a decent amount. 3 out of the last 6 games they have, and 3 of the last 4 meetings against the Canadiens they have. So maybe this is a spot where you take a shot with the draw. But for me, it's a pass in this game. I would only look towards the Canadiens at this number here. Penguins in regulation only because I'm going to the game. Good luck. We'll keep on moving on here. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning minus 155 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here between Tampa and New Jersey. Tampa Bay, New Jersey. Here we go. Line opened up at a 155. It's down to a 165. It's down to a 152 now for Tampa. Line opened up at a 125 for the over 6.5. It's a 122 now. So we have a line move towards the under. We have a line move towards the Devils in this game here. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one. Where is this game? There we go. 94% of the tickets are on the Lightning. Only 1,100 tickets in, so take it with a grain of salt. 46% of the tickets, 71% of the cash is on the under in this one here. Let's take a look at my projection for this game, where I have, I want to say the Lightning as the favorite in this game. Yeah, I have the Lightning as about a $2 favorite in this game. Nico Dawes has been okay for Tampa or for New Jersey. The goaltending advantage does go towards Tampa here in this spot. They're at home where they play a lot better. They've won back-to-back games 6-3. The only game they've lost as of late was that 2-1 game in Detroit on the second half of back-to-back after beating Buffalo the day before. They have won 7 of their last 8 games. So all of a sudden, the Tampa Bay Lightning getting hot here. They're 16-5-3 at home. And I believe, the next game they play is the back-to-back February 7th and February 8th against the Rangers and the Islanders. The Devils, do they play anything after this? They do not. They play on February 6th. So two teams are done after this. The Lightning have kind of dominated the series as of late. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings. Granted, 2 of those wins were in overtime or shootout. But I'm actually really interested in Tampa Bay in this game, the way they've been playing as of late. And I get it. We have the Devils off of not the greatest of losses, but I see some value here, minus 155, plus 153. So we can get a decent -1 line here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I would like to jump on that here. Minus 101 here for the Tampa Bay Lightning, -1. I'm going to take a shot with Tampa in this game. Tampa -1, minus 101. See, that's what I'm going to have to put in there for these. If it'll work. Come on, stop. punching in. Oh, that's too much. It was 76 cents, not 67 cents. There we go. But we're going to be locking in the Lightning here. -1. Lightning -1. -101. So that's where we're going to roll with this one here. Tampa -1. -101, and this is a 7 o'clock game. All right, we keep moving on. Moving on, the New York Rangers and the Ottawa Senators in this one here. Rangers -125 favorites, actually down to a 117 now. So we've got to move towards these Ottawa Senators. Line opened up at a 120. It's now down to a 114. Line opened up at a 6.5 -111. It is a 6.5 at -130 now. So we've had to move towards the over in this spot for this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 71% of the tickets and 52% of the cash is on the Rangers in this one. 3,000 tickets in. So, yeah, 54% of the tickets, 86% of the cash is on the over in this spot as well. And I know exactly what people are immediately going to look at this game and think. But let me get into my projections real quick for this game here, where we have Rangers. Come on, Rangers. There we go. Where we have, I have this game projected for the Rangers to be around $1.70, $1.80 favorites. Massive goaltending advantage still, even on a back-to-back. And I'll say this, Jonathan Quick looks better than Igor Shesterkin this year. I said it. He does. Igor's been terrible this year. They should have won that game last night, the Rangers. They outperformed them 3.2-3 for expected goal margins, except for Swiss twerking is terrible last night. He gave up, I think, 4 goals and 16 shots at one point. And on the flip side, yeah, Ottawa's been playing better as of late, and maybe this is not the greatest opportunity to fade the Senators. They're coming in off of that overtime loss against the Boston Bruins. They tied it up late, forced the overtime, and then and then lost. I like this game in this spot for the Rangers. They're coming in off of a bad loss here in this game. -117. I think that's a good number here for the Rangers. I'm going to move on New York at -117 here in this spot. Rangers -117. I think this is a good number for New York. So taking a shot here in this one. So Rangers here -117 for me. Back to the chat. Crosby anytime goal. Yeah, I can see Crosby anytime goal, especially against this Montreal team. There. Moving on. This is a rematch of a couple days ago. The Winnipeg Jets and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This game went to overtime, 1-0. Last one, which was frustrating with someone who had Jets in the over, and it finished 1-0 Leafs. Line opened up at a 135. It's down to a 126 for Winnipeg. So we've had to move towards Toronto in this game. The line opened up at a 6 plus 104, creeped up to a 6.5, went right back down to a 6, and the line's been sitting at a 6 there. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot here, where we have 84% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the Jets. 2,700 tickets in, though. 75% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on the under here as well. All of a sudden, Montembeau's been playing good. I don't get it. Or not Montembeau. Samsonov has been playing good. But this is a short-term revenge spot. We're in Winnipeg now, and it's not Laurent Brossoit. It is Hellebuck. But, I mean, Brossoit looked amazing in that game as well. No goals in regulation. I mean, you can't ask for too much more there from that. But looking at this game for me, I'm going to go back to Winnipeg in this game. And I get it. They're banged up. They're injured right now. And maybe that should kind of halt me off the Winnipeg Jets in this game. But at the same time, Velarde could be back in the lineup. Morrissey could be back in the lineup. They could be getting players back in this game. They're still without Scheifele, but they could be getting Velarde and Morrissey back, which could be massive for this team. And I could see a short-term revenge. Also, when you look at the game against Toronto, they put up 2.88 expected goals, only gave up 2.79. So, yeah, that game was a tight game. Obviously, it was a 1-0 game in overtime. I look for the short-term revenge here spot in this game. I'm going to look towards the Winnipeg Jets, and I'm going to add the Winnipeg Jets here at minus 130 in this game. I see this as a good Jets spot. At a reasonable number here. So Jets minus 130 for me for this one. We'll keep on moving on here. We have 5 games remaining in the NHL card. The Vegas Golden Knights are traveling to the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings are $1.30 favorites. Total is 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow or the line history in this one here. So we start the 8 o'clock games. Line opened up at a 115. It's up to a 128 now for Detroit. So we've had a decent line movement here towards the Red Wings. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 110. It's now a 6 at minus 115. So we've had a slight move towards the over, and we've had a move towards the Red Wings in this game here. Let's take a look at the line history. We have 87% of the tickets, 99% of the cashes on these Red Wings. Lines move towards the Red Wings here. 79% of the tickets, 65% of the cash is on the over in this spot. The line has moved, I believe, in that direction as well. I don't have too much of an interest in this game. It's most likely going to be Thompson and Lyon. I mean, I have the Red Wings around a minus 150, minus 120 favorite in this game. But am I interested in backing them here in this spot? No. Granted, it is not a great Vegas spot. This is the last game of an East Coast trip for them heading into the All-Star break. They played in New Jersey on Long Island and against the Rangers last night. And now they get to finish off their road trip in Detroit. And then the next time they play is on February 6th against the Edmonton Oilers, where they potentially can break that winning streak. On the flip side, we have the Detroit Red Wings. They have another game after this. They get to play on the 31st against the Ottawa Senators. So they do have another game after this game before the All-Star break. And then they get back from All-Star break on the 10th instead of the 6th, like a lot of teams. So something to keep an eye on there. Red Wings do have a game after this. The Knights do not. So something to keep an eye on. Am I going to be betting this game? No. I'm going to pass this game. Not a game I'm particularly interested in. So no play for me here. Florida Panthers and New York Islanders, your next matchup here. We have the Panthers as $1.35 road favorites with a total of 5.5 in this game. The total kind of caught my interest here. It's a 6 on Bovada now. So this line has moved up. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here with the Islanders and the Panthers. Well, the line opened up at a 130. It's up to a 133. So we have a move towards the Panthers in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 114. It's down to a 6 at minus 111. I saw 5.5s pop up here and there in this spot. 81% of the tickets, 91% of the cash on the over. 87% of the tickets are on the Panthers in this game. And I project value here with the Panthers. But once again, this is going to be the last game of a road trip for them, I believe, because this is their last game before the All-Star break, I believe. Yep. Where they played in Pittsburgh last night. They play on Long Island today. But they did play at home in their previous game against Arizona. Previous to that, they won in Nashville. So they're on a 3-game winning streak, this Florida Panthers team. And they have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7 road games in a row. This Florida Panthers team has won 7 road games in a row. It's a franchise record. The Islanders have won back-to-back meetings against the Florida Panthers. They beat them on December 2nd of 2023, 4-3 as plus 145 underdogs. And they won on December 23rd, the day before the Christmas break, on 2022, 5-1 over the Panthers here. I have no interest in this game. My numbers point towards the Panthers, I believe, just because the Islanders' numbers have not been great. But on the flip side, their numbers with Patrick Waugh behind the bench, they've won the expected goal battle in 3 straight games. When you look at what they've done, I believe they forced Montembeault to have 38 saves, and Aiden Hill had 40 saves. They're getting shots on goal, this New York Islanders team, and I think after the All-Star break, they may be a little bit more of a bet on team. With the way that their numbers are showing here under Waugh, tells me there's a potential they go on a run. They're just putting up good numbers, good expected numbers. Their expected goal numbers, 5.38 and 4.52 expected goals the last 2 games, and they had 0 points to show for it. They lost both those games in regulation. I do think the Islanders will be more of a bet-on team after the All-Star break. I think this is a bad matchup for them, but it's also the Panthers in a bad situational spot. So I don't want either team in this game. It's going to be a pass for me in this one, in this game. Definitely going Lightning money line. That's minus 155. It's a little too juicy for me. I took the -1 line at minus 101, though. So I don't mind that at all. We'll keep on moving. We had 3 $2 favorites to end the card here, which is just disgusting, which may allow me to end the card here with nothing for the late games. But we'll get into it here. The Anaheim Ducks are taking on the Minnesota Wild. The Wild minus 210 favorites in this game, total of 6 in the spot. I think I've been told a few times this is hockey day in Minnesota. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well. I've heard that the Wild play good on this day. This line opened up in a minus 225. It's down to a 203 for the Wild. So we've had a 22-cent line movement here towards Anaheim. The line opened up at a 6.5 at even money. It's now down to a 6. So we've had a line movement towards the under, and we've had a line movement towards the Ducks in this game here. Take a look at the cash flow here. Granted, only 1,000 tickets in, 83% of the tickets, 63% of the cash is on the Minnesota Wild in this one here. 80% of the tickets are on the over. So really not too much going on here with the markets because there's very limited markets in this game. I have this game projected Wild at around a minus 155, minus 160. I don't think that the Wild should be this big of favorites, but am I interested in the Ducks in this game? Not particularly. I feel like there's a few games where we can see the plus 1.5 cash and the money line's not. I'm kind of worried about that with the Capitals game. I could see that with the Coyotes. I could see that here with the Ducks covering the plus 1.5, but not winning this game outright. Maybe a draw in this game could be an interesting look because you could probably get a nice little number here on the draw. But this game really has no interest to me. It'd be Ducks or nothing. But it's a nothing burger for me here in this spot. I feel like one of these big favorites are going to go down tonight. It may be the Wild here, but just because they're the smallest of the 3 favorites. But I'm not going to take a plus 200 to find out, or a plus 175 on the Ducks to find out. Here, Calgary Flames minus 285 favorites, total of 6 in this game. Line opened up at a 275. It's up to a 279. So we've had a slight move towards the Flames here in this spot. Line opened up at a 6 at even money. It's now a 6 at minus 102. So we have a line move towards the over. We have a line move towards the Flames in this game here. 98% of the tickets are on the Flames. We have no cash flow on the total here in this spot, though. Let's take a look at my projections for this game. And for me in this spot, I have this game projected out for around 5.2 goals. I see this as a spot where I don't trust the Blackhawks offensively. This Blackhawks team does nothing on offense, and they're going up against a decent goaltender in Jacob Markstrom, who has been pretty decent this season. And I'm projecting Mrazek on the other side. Now, am I going to come out here and tell you that there's value on a minus 285 favorite? No. And depending on how the early games go, if we don't have any dogs early, and it's been just favorite, the Blackhawks could be live in this game. Am I going to be betting this one? No. The schedule makers did a good job at the end of the night to make it very difficult to bet any of these games unless you want to take a massive underdog. So it's a no play for me here in this game. It's a lean towards an under, but no play is no play on this game for me. All right, good. I got to take a break off of talking for a second. Actually, not really because there's no chat. So we'll just head to the last game here. Vancouver Canucks minus 290 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this spot here, where we have the Canucks open up as minus 281. It's still a minus 281. Line opened up at 6.5 at minus 116. It's now 6.5 at minus 133. So we've had a decent line move towards the over in this game. Maybe we might get a 7 later in tonight. And no line movement on the side here in this one here. 60% of the tickets are on the over. The lines moved 17 cents towards the over. 97% of the tickets are on the Canucks. No cash flow on either, though. 3,700 tickets in. And once again, the NHL did a great job being able to price me out of playing anything on the late night games. So this is another pass to end the night here in this one. Looks like I have 7 sides at the moment, and that is it for today's card. So no play for me here in this game. That's it. They did a good job of pricing me off. Obviously, it's dog or pass. I actually lean under. I think I'll get in. I'm going to get involved in this game if I look on my sports book later tonight and they show me there's a 7. If they show me there's a 7 in this game, because it looks like it's trending in that direction, I'll bet the under 7. That's the way I'll approach this game. This will be I'm going to write this down. Vancouver CBJ in having stars next to it, under, need a 7. There we go. That's the NHL card.
Sounds good, Nick. We're going to do kind of an accelerated version through the NBA, just because, once again, it's kind of we kind of mentioned it earlier with the sheer amount of college basketball, which we have 30 plays up on the site for college basketball, or 28 plays up on the site for college basketball. I'm not interested in going after a lot of NBA games, and I will say only one of these games are going to be up on the site. The other two, I'm gonna bet, but I'm not putting all of them up on the site just because we already have a lot. We'll start off the Wizards and the Pistons, because why not? And this one's just a absolute beautiful game, Nick, between the two worst teams in the NBA. And we kind of prophesized this, Nick, because I remember Marcos asked us a while ago saying, "Oh, do we see a Pistons winning streak?" Well, I said yes, because they played Charlotte. They beat Charlotte. And I said they would play the Wizards, and I think they would beat the Wizards. Well, here you go. I'm grabbing the Pistons minus 2.5. I think we prophesized it. There has not been a winning streak for the Pistons this year. Sorry, there has been.
Oh, yeah, they won their first 2 games.
They started off 2-1. They lost the first one, won the next 2 against Charlotte and Chicago. I think they beat the Pistons again. We'll grab the. I think they beat the Wizards again. Give me the Pistons in this one, Nick.
There you go.
Wild are not losing today, Nick. It's practically.
I did not bet against them, but I'm not laying 210 on the Wild. That's just not happening.
There you go. Suppness. It's hockey day in Minnesota.
I mentioned that. I did mention that, which kept me off of, what do you call it? The Ducks.
How is Bucknell a dog to Army? Let me look at the game real quick. Bucknell, a dog to Army. Because they both suck. 7-13 versus 6-14. They're even, and Army's at home. Makes sense. Pistons money line. I have to lay -2.5. Maybe the under in the Pistons game. I would kind of lean the opposite way, but I don't know. This one will be the play that's up on the site, Nick.
Yeah, Nuggets -5.5, total 228. I did not cap any NBA, so this is all you, Tim.
It's a revenge spot. 100% a revenge spot for the Nuggets after losing a week ago in Philly. Yeah, this is a good revenge spot for him here. I expect a big game from Nikola Jokic, especially after Embiid went and did what he did against the Nuggets in the last game. By the way, Embiid will be playing. I know it's kind of a
whoa.
This will be the first time that Joel Embiid plays in Denver in 4 years. Yeah. I think this is a really good spot for the Nuggets to kind of bounce back. Especially, Nick, what did we see with the last Nuggets game? They got blown out by the Knicks. I don't know. This seems like an overall a really good spot for the Denver Nuggets. I grabbed them -5.5 versus the Sixers.
There you go.
Tighten up. There you go. Pistons money line smash with a handbag OTD. Let's cash. Let's do it. Wild 14-1, last 15 against Anaheim. The Wild are 13-2-1 all time on Hockey Day in Minnesota. If there is any game to count on the Wild, it's this one.
Yep, just not at this price.
Yeah, Terry, we're not saying that they're not going to win. They're just not. They're just too expensive. Joker triple-double, yes. Embiid Pra over, no. Maxey over, sure. Maxey threes, sure. Harris threes, sure. And the over in general. All right. The only one I'm going to say is I don't think Embiid gets there. I like it, Jock. There you go. And then we'll go to the last one, Nick, which I almost bet this game, and I end up staying off of it.
Yeah, we had the Kings -3 against the Mavericks, total 243.5. Go for it.
I almost bet the Kings in this one. And the main reason why I almost bet the Kings, you got the Mavericks who are coming off of their big win last night. That's kind of, and you had the best performance out of anybody so far this year with Luka, scoring 73 points last night, which was the number one performance of the year so far. So good for him. It kind of puts Luka up in the MVP. I think Luka should be involved in the MVP race. He's been the best non-center in the NBA. But I think it's a letdown spot because they just won big in that game. And it was in Atlanta, and then they had to travel back from Atlanta to Dallas. Kings already in Dallas last night. I think this is a good spot for the Kings -3. I almost bet it. I didn't quite get there, though.
Fair.
Back to the chat before we head on out. Hit the like button. Damn right, Terry. Hit the like button. Mavs first money line first quarter. If you're gonna get it, might as well get it first quarter. Give me the Kings money line. They get it done. I have to lay the points. I'm not laying -150. Terry Wild just made a trade. I don't know. Doesn't Luka have the most points scored? I could see that because I think he's got the highest average and he actually plays every game. So, or he plays most of the game. So I could see him having the highest amount of points in the NBA right now. But I will say the big thing for today, and it's already posted up on the member only thing. There is a shit ton of college basketball today. And we've got 30 we got a little over 30 units in college basketball today up on the site. So now's the time to go up and grab member only $7.99. $4.99, $5.99 a month. Wow, I can't speak. $5.99 a month, which is 16 cents a day. Good value there. Jump on that. Lots and lots of plays for today. Recap. Pistons, Nuggets, Kings, and then a shit ton of college basketball. Nick?
Yeah, I didn't even look at the NBA today. I'm on the Bruins -1 at +102 for the early game here. Washington Capitals +200. Sharks +160. Coyotes +210. Took a couple of shots with some afternoon dogs. Later of the night, we're a little bit more favorites. Lightning -1, -101. New York Rangers -117. Winnipeg Jets -130 for my card. And if I can get a 7 later in the day, I'll look at Vancouver Columbus under.
There you go. Moneyline Mills is ready for the noon games. I will say, out of all of our plays, we have one game that starts at noon. Just one.
My first game starts at 12:30.
We have a lot of 2 o'clockers and a lot of 4 o'clockers for college basketball. So there you go. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back tomorrow with another one, and we'll be talking some football tomorrow to see who goes to the Super Bowl.
Yes, that's right.
But that's going to do it for this one. And as always, let's go Sabres.